Hello, my darlings. I am here to talk to you about how we stay connected when we want to escape and borrow trouble about what new symptoms can mean. My lovelies, I am Annette. My website is AnnetteLeonard.com, and this is the Chronic Wellness Podcast. It is 2025. That is bananas. And not only is it 2025, but it's almost mid-February. And it is my first broadcast to you. And that is bananas because I've missed a lot of time. I've missed a lot of time in my world. I've missed a lot of time with you. It's been a long absence since my last recording. And I have regret about that. I want to apologize to you. And that is the life with these chronic conditions. I had a death in my family at the end of last year, and that caused disruption in my life and my schedule and in my heart and world. And then I got very sick. And it's impossible for me to not wonder if those things are connected, because I do believe in the mind-body connection, and that when I was just worn to a nub over this loss, if I wasn't just more susceptible, who knows? But I have been sicker in this last 6 weeks than I've been in a long time. And without, boring you with a lot of details, I'll just say that I've just hardly been out of bed. And it has been eclipsing and so extreme that I haven't been able to bathe. I haven't been able to connect by text or phone with others. I haven't been able to record at all. I just have not been able to get out of bed or get dressed or go about any of the business of my life. And so that brings me to what I want to talk to you about today, which is when these times happen in our lives as folks with chronic illness, how difficult it is to stay connected to ourselves and not just go down a rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, is this how it's going to always be? Is this what the future now looks like? Are these new symptoms and what's happening now what it will always be like? The difficulty of managing my fears and the frustrations of new symptoms and the wondering of how it's always going to be. One of the things that's so difficult that we talk about here is the fact that control, the illusion of control, is just wrested from our grasp with chronic conditions, and that when things get worse, then the anxiety of, oh no, is it now worse than it already has been? And it's already been really bad. And here again, my loves, is where a contemplative practice has served me. And in this illness in particular, I have felt a buoyancy of spirit that has not been typical. So what I mean by that is usually if I am completely down for 6 weeks, my spirit is in the crapper. My heart is tanked. I am lonely and sad and pretty emotionally desperate. And this time was different. This time, my heart had just a little bubble in it that kept it from fully sinking. And the thing that I can say made that so, allowed that to be possible, is years and years and years of contemplative practice, and just the accumulated possibilities that that has provided. And what that looks like is me with my headphones or a little speaker every day, listening to guided meditations. And during the time of my illness, just multiple guided meditations every day. And those can be meditations about loving kindness or staying connected to the present moment or yoga nidra or. But what it allowed me to do this time was stay connected to what is, not what if. And that present moment focus, that possibility of staying connected to what's true, not what I'm afraid of, was just different. I was really working on not borrowing trouble, on not assuming that just because it was terrible right now, that it was going to remain terrible. And it wasn't easy and it wasn't constant, but it was different. And whatever your contemplative practice could be, whether it's staying connected to lyrics of music or being in prayer or being in nature, anything that allows me to remain in this present moment rather than jumping 6 steps ahead or being scared about what might be true is a gift. And I even had a telehealth appointment during this time. I was supposed to go up to my big doctor's appointments up in Seattle, and I could not do that. But I changed them to telehealth. And one of my docs up there was like, Annette, big illness is what kicks off your autoimmune diseases. And I was like, I don't need any help remembering that. And even still, I remembered that this is what is. I don't need to jump to what could be. And so develop the muscle of your contemplative practices, whether that's you with a mantra or with a candle, doing the exercises when things are not at their worst allows you the possibility of continuing those practices when things are trash. So I have a lot coming up for you in 2025. I have some exciting things planned, but I hope you'll tell me what you want to hear about, what you're excited to discuss, what you want to learn about or hear me talk about. And thank you for sticking with me, even though I had this long hiatus. I'm so glad to be back together again. And tell me how you stay present, or if you stay present in the midst of things getting exponentially worse in your illnesses. I love you. I'm glad to be with you. And until we're together again, I hope that you can find ways to be well.